Hey, it's Kyla. And today I am bringing you a review. So my amazing best friend, Mariah, shout out to Mariah, link to her channel down below, although I don't think she's made a video in like 1,000,006 years. Anyway, she got me an amazing brush set, and she told me that she was getting me some brushes for Christmas, and I thought maybe like a pack of 4 or 5, but she got me this monstrosity of a makeup brush set from BH Cosmetics, and I told her that I would do a review because she wants to know how the brushes work. So I'm gonna start off by saying that before I've even tried a single one of these brushes, I'm already in love with the packaging. It comes like this. Look how small that is. And all you do is undo it, and it rolls into this big thing. And then when you're done, it just rolls up, and there are your brushes. Love it. Now I'm going to be doing a look with these brushes. So as you can see, my eyebrows are done because it doesn't come with an eyebrow brush, which why would it? But I am going to sculpt my eyebrows using concealer and a concealer brush. So let's get started with that. Okay, so I do want to point out that the packaging has a very strong odor to it. I personally don't find it very pleasant. It's kind of that new car smell times 1,000, and it's very chemically, and yeah, it's not great. So I am starting off. All right, this is what one of the brushes looks like. They seem very well made, nice silvery, kind of glittery looking. Feels nice and strong, this one. Some of them appear a little cheap looking. I'm afraid to give critiques because I don't want it to look like I'm bashing my best friend's gift. Like, she's a saint and a half for this. Like, I love it already. Whether or not all these brushes are good, I love it. I just want to give an honest review. Like, this was really generous of her. Anyway, so I am starting off with, I know that piece of hair is bugging everyone. I have my hair pinned back really terribly. Ugh. Okay. I am going to attempt to sculpt my brows with this brush. Okay. It's looking okay so far. Okay, so this is the finished brow look. I think I forgot to mention this is brush number 18. They're not labeled on the outside, so it's kind of a counting game. This brush got the job done, but it did feel a little flimsy and hard to be precise with, but that might just be poor brush choosing on my part. Up to this point, I had been using this very small, it's actually a smudge brush from e.l.f. to do this. So as you can see, these are very different brushes. I probably should have just gone with a smudge brush. Next! Okay, I have primed my lids with some concealer, and I am going to start eyeshadow. I am going to be using brush 24, brush 27, and brush 26. All advertised as eyeshadow brushes. They feel kind of weird to me. Keep in mind, I'm used to using e.l.f. e.l.f. is kind of all I've ever really used. And they're all short and very stiff, which has always felt good to me because of precision. And these, compared to these, wow, these brushes are nothing alike. That's a terrible comparison. This is broken, but take this blending brush, which is not clean, versus this blending brush. This is a lot shorter, and it's a lot stiffer and just feels like I can really dig in there more. But don't knock it till you try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna take my smoky palette. I am going in with the short eyeshadow brush, and I am going to take this color. I'm gonna pat it on the lid. Wow, I do like the way that went on. This is a cheap eyeshadow palette to begin with, so let's not judge it too harshly. I'm not getting into what products I'm using because that's not the point of this video, but if you do have any questions about what products I use at any given point, hit a girl up. Alright, so I went over my lid with this purple. I'm gonna blend it out a little bit with this blending brush. Ooh, it's very tickly. Taking... I can barely tell the difference between the long eyeshadow... Well, okay, you can see the difference now. But the difference is very small. I'm gonna take the short one again, and I'm going to do my outer corner and my crease. And blend. I need to do some off-camera perfecting because I cannot use the viewfinder. So let me finish up eyeshadow and I'll be back in 1 second for you, but a literal probably 20 minutes. Quick update, I've fallen in actual love with this blending brush. It doesn't feel like it's doing much to me because I'm used to the short get in there brush. But with just a little bit, I'm achieving so much. I didn't end up using the long eyeshadow brush, but I think that's more of just a personal preference thing. So I'm going in with brush 17, which is advertised as a small smudge brush. It doesn't look that small to me, but maybe that's just me. Oh wow. Well, it definitely does what it says it does. So I'm gonna do like a combination smudge and blend for this. That actually gives it a lot of pigment. I'm gonna actually use that for the top. So remember all those terrible things I said about these brushes in the beginning? Well, we're gonna forget I said all of those. I'm also quickly becoming one for not using brushes for their intended purpose because I love the pigmentation of the smudge brush. And yeah, like I said, I also used to use a smudge brush for applying concealer. So now I'm gonna do eyeliner, which I'm gonna do off camera because that's also not the point of this video. And I will see you back when we are ready to do the face. Oh, and mascara, I'm gonna do that too. So I'll see you back when we're ready to do our foundation and facial things. Okay, so now our eyes are done and we are moving on to our face. So I'm gonna start by priming. Now, I am not used to using a foundation brush in general, but I'm going to be using brush 30, and I mean, you know, looks very similar in shape to my foundation brush, which I actually currently use for highlighter, because, you know, I literally had like 4 or 5 brushes that were $1 each from e.l.f. But anyway, we're gonna go with this guy. So I'm gonna paint my face like an artiste. Is this even how you do this? I don't even know. Oh. I have used my old foundation brush for foundation a few times, but my go-to is my Beauty Blender. But I know that you do get more coverage this way. It appears to be going on nice and evenly, so that's good. Get rid of all the imperfections. I'm actually terrified of dirtying these brushes. Like, I mean, I know that's their purpose, but I'm just like, they were so new. Okay, so I'm actually very happy with how that went on. It's nice and even. I do feel like I used a lot more foundation than I normally would, but again, that's probably just me. Now I'm going to conceal, so I am going in with brush 16, which is a longer version of the concealer brush that I used for my eyebrows. So I'm gonna there we go. I'm not used to this. I'm used to using a Beauty Blender. This is weird. I might actually need to come in with my Beauty Blender because I'm not sure what to do about that. Currently look like a raccoon, but it's fine. I am going to come in with my Beauty Blender, and this is not the brush's fault. This is just a lack of skills on Kyla's part. Yeah, I did not like using a brush for that in general, just because I got up to the lower lash line and I was like, okay, now what? So the brush itself, no, it didn't blend very well. I prefer to use a Beauty Blender for that. So it looks a little wonky. So now I'm going to take my powder brush, which is number 35, and set everything. It does feel very nice and soft, as opposed to this that I've been using. I mean, this just looks like this from wear and tear, but the bristles are definitely a lot more rough than this. And at first I was like, oh, this feels cheaper. But now I'm like, oh, this feels nicer. Brava. So next we're gonna move on to bronzer, yeah, same. Bronzer. And this brush, number 33, looks quite interesting. I'm actually excited because up until now I've been using blush and bronzer on the same brush, which is not good because you end up with a pink forehead and you end up with brown cheeks. So I am going to bronze. Oh wow. I don't like this brush for this purpose. I feel like I'm wiping all of my foundation off. I mean, it does do a nice... Actually, that blend looks pretty good. I don't know why it looks pink. I swear, I'm not even using the blush brush for this. I don't know, it's doing what it's supposed to, but it just kind of, maybe I'm just doing it wrong. This review should be called, is Kyla even qualified to give this critique? Does Kyla even, are these brushes really not working? Or does Kyla just not know what she's doing? Another alternative title for this video, I stand corrected, because I stand corrected. While this brush doesn't feel like it's doing what it's supposed to, it actually gives me the best contour blend I've ever had. Instead of just having lines across my cheeks or having it blended so much you can't even tell it's there. It's actually doing pretty solid. For blush, I am using a different brush. I'm so excited. I'm using number 31, which is advertised as a small blush brush. I tend to use the smaller ones just because I feel like you get more precision that way. Oh, that's a lot of pigment. Wow, that's a lot of pigment. Oh, wow. Blend, 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 blend. Yeah, maybe it's just me who's not used to high quality brushes, but do be careful because lots of pigment. I have been most excited about this. I am using number 36, this fancy fan brush, which looks a little cheap because it's kind of fraying on the ends. But I'm so excited to get my highlighter on like this. I see all of the beauty gurus on YouTube do this, and it looks heavenly when they do it. Okay, I will say, while I look much fancier doing this, it's not as effective as when I use my foundation brush, because I'm not getting as much pigment. Okay, it's doing all right. And because I'm never going to use this liner brush in my life, I'm going to use this to do my under eyebrow highlight. As well as the inner corner. I'm not gonna review this part because this is like 110 times not its intended purpose. Alright friends, here is the finished look. Obviously I couldn't make use of all 36 of these brushes this time, and there are definitely some that I'm never gonna touch, not because they're bad, but I'm never, at least not in the near future, going to use an eyeliner brush of any kind or a lip brush of any kind. And there's just so many brushes in here. I don't even know what to do with them all. All in all, this was a lot better than I expected. I looked at it and kind of thought that some of the brushes looked cheap, but they proved to work. I think this is the best result I have ever gotten out of brushes, and probably the best look in terms of technique that I've ever done. And I'm moving around a lot, sorry. Oh, there's the back of me, whoop. I would say the worst thing about this is the smell. I'm hoping that that'll die down. The fan brush, while it looked nice, didn't really accomplish much. The brushes that did work well worked really well. The brushes give you a lot of pigment, and it's okay to use brushes for not their intended purpose. Like, my inner corners have never been this bright, and I use the eyeliner brush. So, definitely recommend this. I think it's a lot more than what you would need, unless you're like a seasoned makeup artist, which I'm not. But thank you, Mariah. I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. Thank you so much for the gift. I hope that this video was useful to anyone looking into possibly buying BH brushes. Recommend. It's a really great set. And the packaging is on point, very useful, very portable. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, please subscribe, and you can hit the notification bell. I sound like a real YouTuber now. Alright, see you later. I almost forgot my outro. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.